Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update as usual. So if you're new here, that just basically includes me talking about the portfolio's gains or losses for every single stock market day. And then as always, of course, we have to talk about Tesla stock since it is 100% of my portfolio. That's across my taxable accounts and my Roth IRA accounts as well. So this is 100% of my net worth pretty much. With that being said, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy the transparency and the Tesla videos. But just starting off, before we get into some of the movements for today, we of course have to take a look at this free stock. And big shout out to Farhan or Farhan. I don't know the exact pronunciation. Sorry if I get it wrong, but really appreciate you using my referral link. It really helps support the channel. And we get to take a look at these free stocks for the videos too for entertainment here. Sometimes I have to just exit out. It never shows up on desktop for some reason. But it looks like we got this one, $3.61. I'll take it. So I really appreciate that, Farhan or Farhan. And just a quick plug, if you don't have a Robinhood account or a Webull account, you can get free stocks with either one. 4 in total with Webull right now, 2 valued up to $250 with Webull just for signing up with my referral link, and then another 2 valued up to $1,600 for depositing $100 into your Webull account. But getting that right out of the way, we have a portfolio value currently of $251,401.94. And in the normal market hours today, we had a plus 4.14% gain. That is plus $10,026.41. And then in the after hours, which are currently closed right now, it's a little after 8, we are at minus 0.38%, which is minus $963.13. So we actually recovered a lot of what we lost yesterday. And if we take a look at the beginning of today, it was in the red pretty significantly at a little over minus 6%. So we really saw a big change with the beginning of the market today compared to the rest of the day. And just to address the significant difference between the start of today and the rest of the day, we recently got the news that Tesla has completed the $5 billion share offering. So I'll go ahead and show you the exact quote. This says, on December 9th, 2020, Tesla Incorporated completed the sale of $5 billion before commissions of its common stock through its at-the-market offering program, previously disclosed on December 8th, 2020. The final settlement of the shares sold is expected to be completed by December 11th, 2020. So in basic terms, all of the stock of the $5 billion has been sold. It just all needs to be completed by December 11th. Pretty much there doesn't need to be any sort of worry about whether they're going to be selling more shares and whether that could drive the price down a little bit more and lead to another crash like we saw yesterday, because all of it has now been sold. We're looking towards greener pastures in terms of the people that were kind of afraid of this stock offering and the effect that it would have on the stock itself and its movement prior to this S&P 500 inclusion. So that's another good thing as well, and we now have that band-aid ripped right off. And if we take a look at the share price, we are currently at $624.90 per share. That's pretty close to where we were at previously. If we just take a look at the past week, we're already near some of the previous peaks, like on December 8th and on December 7th. So we really haven't lost all that much when we look back in retrospect and think that now Tesla has another $5 billion on their balance sheets that they can use as a war chest, or in any scenario that they're going to need money, whether it's for an acquisition or just some sort of situation where that extra cash could be useful. So I think it's really important to take note of that, the fact that we are almost near where this share price was at previously. And honestly, I think 700 is coming on its way pretty soon. I would not be surprised if we even hit 800 by the time of S&P 500 inclusion, or at least somewhere near there. And this is just one of those situations, as I always say when I'm talking about Tesla stock, it's one of those that is always exciting. For one thing, it's interesting to keep up with the company. They have their hands in so many different pies where it's just exciting to see their progress, whether it's in the auto sector of their business, or if it's in the energy sector, like with battery storage, or if you're just more focused on the autonomous capabilities in full self-driving and training that neural network and the progress with that right now as well. There's a lot of things to be interested in general when it comes to the growth of Tesla as a company. And then with the stock as well, it's just never boring. There's always something happening. And yes, sometimes there can be a lot of volatility, but I have to say, as a stock owner in it for the long term, it's honestly just pretty fun to see where it goes, regardless, whether it's like a crash like with yesterday or another good day like today. I have to admit, it's at least an interesting stock to own, not only with just interest in the company, but just with all of these different movements that we're seeing and the stock split and how the stock reacts to different upcoming events. And that's just one of the reasons that I'm able to talk about the stock constantly in the company so much on this channel, because there's so many different things going on, and it's just not a boring stock to own. And just looking at its current share price and knowing that we're not too far off from an all-time high, yet also knowing they have that extra $5 billion in the bank account, that just gets me really hyped up about this company and owning this stock. And I know there's likely going to be a pullback. I just don't know how much that pullback is going to be sometime after S&P 500 inclusion, or maybe even a day or two before S&P 500 inclusion. But I think a lot of us realize that this is like a case scenario where it could honestly go anywhere. There's the possibility of there not being like a huge pullback after S&P 500 inclusion. And yes, I know there's still going to be some short-term traders and people looking for quick money that will likely sell out of it because they're trying to sell to the S&P 500. However, we really don't know what could happen when it comes to the stock market. In general, the stock market is unpredictable, and Tesla is often considered even more unpredictable. There's just many times in the past that we know of as Tesla investors where the stock is kind of flatlined for a while, and then we have a news piece come out of nowhere, or like at first, a lot of people were expecting S&P 500 inclusion to be announced early on when Tesla first became profitable for 4 consecutive quarters, yet that kind of dragged on a little bit, and we didn't get some news on that, and then finally, it kind of came out of nowhere recently, and it was finally announced. And it took longer than expected for some people, and that was just one of those examples of the unpredictable nature of the stock market. We can never really guess when the next news piece is going to be or when Tesla is going to have its next surge. But what most of us long-term investors can say with confidence is that we know where this company is going in the long-term future. The short term is a lot less predictable in terms of predicting when these certain things can happen, but in the long term, it's fairly easy, at least for me in my opinion, to have confidence in this company and know that they're going to go places and expand and build more factories and produce more vehicles per year and ramp up the production of their battery storage side as well. And we also have confidence in their constant improvement of their autonomy technology as well. So to me, it's not too difficult to get an idea of where I think Tesla's going in the long-term future. That's why I'm all in on Tesla stock. But like I said, there's things that can be unpredictable, and that's why S&P 500 inclusion is really something that almost all investors are paying attention to, whether they own Tesla stock or not. And I think all of us are just really excited to see what happens with this stock between now and then, and even afterwards as well, because I think a lot of us are expecting a little bit of a sell-off afterwards. It just depends on how much of a sell-off we see. But one thing we do know is that S&P 500 isn't selling off, and that's going to be a pretty big purchase to take note of. And then if there's also a lot of index fund trackers out there buying this stock as well to match up with the S&P 500, they're likely not going to be selling off either because they have to match the trend of that S&P 500 movement. So in basic terms, in my opinion, the long-term investors are the ones that are going to come out on top when it comes to owning Tesla stock. The people that sell it in the short term, we're likely going to see them years in the future talking about how they regret selling it and how they shouldn't have chased the quick money and focused on that long-term vision. So with that being said, let's take a look at the time frames for today. For the past week, we are currently at plus 6.37%. That is plus $15,045.40. And then for the past month, we are at plus 51.84%. That is plus $85,834.59. For the past 3 months, we are currently at plus 68.55%. That is plus $102,243.87. For the past year, we are at plus 144.80%. That is plus $148,703.46. And then finally, for the all-time, we are at plus 144.91%, which is plus $148,750.56. And like I said, with this trend today, it did start out in the pre-market pretty far into the negative, and we got a surprising recovery for a lot of people out there where it recovered pretty fast. And around this time at 11:25 a.m., it was already up at plus 3.45%. Now, keep in mind, towards the midday, we did have a little bit of a dip, but towards that last hour of 3 to 4 p.m. of the normal market hours, we did have an uptick in the share price, and it actually peaked up here in the after hours at plus 1.46% at 4:25 p.m. But as you can see with the after hours, it says minus 0.38%, and if we take a look at 5:55 p.m., 6 p.m., it's at minus 0.54%. So even at 8 p.m., the loss has been a little bit less than what it was at 6 p.m. So that's a little bit better looking. And of course, a lot of things can change between now and the next day. And especially with Tesla stock, I really just take after hours with a grain of salt. And then for Tesla stock specifically, for today's return, we are at plus 3.38% combining both the after hours and the normal market hours. That is plus $9,063.21. And then for the total return, we are currently at plus 88.44%, which is plus $130,170.45. But with all of that being said, I just wanted to run through a quick little portfolio update, and I know this portfolio update was a little later than usual, but I cannot help it. Cyberpunk 2077 is out. I've been waiting on that for like 8 years now, and I just can't help it. I've been playing it so much lately. It's actually really good. But anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if y'all enjoyed this video, and also feel free to check out my referral links in the description. Since I mentioned all of the details on that at the beginning, I'll go ahead and skip it at the end, but you can get 4 free stocks in total with Webull, and it really does help support the channel, which I greatly appreciate. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.